I seem to be becoming known as a method writer, and what it is when I write about a character, I need to kind of get inside who they are and what they do. And in order to write about quilting, I need to do it myself. It's much easier, put it that way, to do it myself rather than imagine. So I do it myself so that it's like a shortcut to getting that experience and being able to write about it in a way that the reader feels confident that I know what I'm talking about. So doing this sort of method writing makes, I think, the experience that I write about much more authentic. Quilting gives me this opportunity to do something with my hands and a different part of my brain. So when I get to that place, it's really satisfying to make something out of visual elements. I always like to have in my books characters doing something, and I wanted something that 19th century American and English women would both have done. And I hit on quilting because it seemed something that a lot of them did in their leisure time at the end of the day. It was also something that's very practical, and yet there's this scope for being really creative. It's like an outlet, one of the few outlets of creativity they had. Quilts have been made for a really long time, for centuries. And there aren't many examples of old ones now because they tend to fall apart. But I think the earliest I've seen are probably 17th century. When I started learning to quilt, I did a lot of little projects in the class. And then when I joined the quilting group, I knew I wanted to do a long project. I wanted to do a whole quilt. And even so, it took me a year. And it's very fiddly work, and it's very focused and concentrated, and takes a long time if you don't have a sewing machine, which I don't. I was doing it all by hand the way my character would have. And I think there's something really thrilling actually about finishing it and using something that you've made and knowing all of the work that's gone into it. And I when I lie there, sometimes I look at it and I think of, I remember that square, particularly working on that part of it. And it makes it more personal.